how do I say this? A lot of the seniors during the day are watching TV, and that Colonial Penn commercial pops up on there, and it's the $9.95 plan. I know some of you guys are probably not familiar. You've probably seen the commercial, but not sure how it's set up or why it makes sense to not necessarily, sorry guys, we got people jumping in, but why it makes sense to know the information I'm about to provide to you. So this information was found on the internet, just to let you guys know. I'm actually going to put it on the screen and all that. And the cool part about it is this is information you guys can find out there. If you guys would like me to send it to you, just send me a quick Slack message. All you have to do is just put in Colonial, and then I will send the screenshots I have to show you guys. So in our typical fashion, I'm going to give it another couple seconds here. I know we have people transitioning for the other meeting. Appreciate you guys being on today as well. It's like we got a lot of people rolling. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If somebody can't get in, leadership, if they text you, let me know. I'll come out and let them in. Obviously, this is recorded. So thanks, Pitts. I just saw that, and I will get it over to you for sure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and looks like we still got a couple more people jumping on. While we're waiting, just giving a couple people a couple seconds here. Anybody have any good news that they'd like to share? Anything at all?
I'd just like to say, this is Gregory. Just like to say, this training today, even before you give it, I know it's going to be great, because on Wednesday or whatever, I think it was Wednesday, I went into a house, and a husband and wife, they had AARP. Before the training that we had on AARP, we probably had whatever with the other company, Corey, I can't remember, but I do remember that training. Yeah. Before that, I didn't know anything about AARP. Because of that training, even though it was like 2 or 3, 4 months ago, I was able to intelligently speak to these people, let them know that in 5 years, your policy is going to increase. And they said, yes, it is. They said, yeah, we know that. So they already knew it. And I was able to show them the benefit of what we had with, and I got them with Royal Neighbors, the benefit of the whole life, the benefit of Royal Neighbors, and was able to easily transition them from AARP over to Royal Neighbors. So I know this training is going to be great. Thanks.
Thanks, Pitts. Appreciate that. And congratulations on your huge week of over 7,500. Obviously, that was a big contributor to that. So I promise you guys, anytime I do a training, there will be things on the screen for you guys to kind of soak up. Robert, I will definitely get this to you as soon as we're done here. So out of respect to time, I know everybody's, because we've got 5 or 6 people in cars. So I'm going to get this thing moving. Good morning, everybody. I usually go individually, but I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So good morning. Thank you guys for being on. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let Josh Sutton in here. If you guys see somebody try to get on, just let me know. I'll let them in. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here really quickly. Go over our typical fashion here. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, family business. Obviously, we know some of you guys want to protect your families. Totally get it. Just please make sure that you let us know before you do that. We're not saying you can't write it. We're just saying we have to go as earned. Here's why. And this is an unfortunate thing, but those of us that are here might not be here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road. And if that family member took that policy out because they want to help you get your business started or whatever the case is, and they maybe have taken it out for your reasons and not theirs, and you leave, 9 out of 10, those policies leave as well. So we have to run this like a business. We have to look at this like a business. We want you to protect your family members, but your business has to be written as earned. I will say this just so you guys know, we're not a watchdog group by any stretch of the imagination, but we do look at our business. So if we see, similar names, family business, those kind of things, that will be put on as earned, and we will let you know. We don't have a problem with you guys writing it, but please be upfront with us, and we'll move forward from there. This is a huge announcement because of some of the health things that are going on. Holden and I have been talking, and it makes more sense to move the next fall blitz, like the one we had in St. Louis, to Milwaukee. So that might, a couple of you guys might want to, decide to attend now. But here's the deal. It's going to be moving from Milwaukee. The dates are the same, October 3rd through the 8th. We're looking for locations. I should say Holden's looking for locations, but we're kind of going through that stuff now. So if you are interested in attending the Blitz and you would like to attend now that the location is Milwaukee as opposed to San Diego, please just send me a Slack message so you don't have 50 people bombarding Holden. Not that he wouldn't take your call, but please just send me. All you have to do is Slack me and say Blitz, and we'll take care of everything else from there, include you in that group so you'll know what's going on. Again,
hey,
anytime.
Corey.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Is it Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or Milwaukee, Minnesota? And I'm not trying to be funny because
Oh
it may
my
be,
God. You
it
know
may be
what?
one.
I was doing two different things. No, it's Wisconsin. That's great. I didn't even see that, Gregory. No, here's the funny part. I hope that there's a Milwaukee, Minnesota. You're the first person that's mentioned that. That's my fault. Thank you, Gregory. I appreciate that. And I've been posting this thing for a week.
Because there's a Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, and a Detroit,
Yeah.
Alabama. But it might have been, one in Minnesota. I was just asking. Thanks.
No, and that's a great question. I must have been working on two different things at the same time. I apologize, guys. I will get that corrected today, right after the meeting. I'm sure there is a Milwaukee, Minnesota. Now let's just say it. But at these, if you've never been, if you're new to the insurance business and you've never been on a blitz or what they might call an Ardmore or an ADP, you get together with a group of people from all across the country. Sometimes people just click when they get there. You start going to lunch with people, you start connecting with them. Sometimes this can be the loneliest business in the world, but if you're doing it with other people, doesn't matter if they're directly on Genesis or they're a part of Stag or they're a part of Joe Carabalisi's team, doesn't matter. We're Holden's team. We all work together, right? So typically what happens when you attend these things is your production goes up anywhere between 15 to 25% or more. You're in a focused, concentrated area. You're getting training every day. You're meeting with other people. You're just kind of in work mode, some of the distractions that we have in our home market. So we love for all of you guys to come. If you want information, just put Blitz, Slack me Blitz, and I'll get that information. Thanks, Gregory. I appreciate that very much. Obviously, our meeting schedule Monday through Friday, 8 to 8:30 Central. We know we have some people
Corey,
in the Eastern time zone.
We got some folks waiting to come in. If you can let
Awesome.
them in.
Thanks, Sizzle. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, Corey, can I have a question real quick?
You can ask whatever you want, my friend.
So on this blitz in Milwaukee, then we would have to, it would be in that Milwaukee area. So you'd have to have a Wisconsin license.
That is correct. That is exactly right. Yep.
Okay. So, okay. It might be worth just getting the license because of that, because I hear these things are awesome. So
they're a lot of fun. But another organization that I was at as a regional director, I had one of these every single month. And I got to be honest with you, after a while, you're like, oh my God, you would dread putting it together because separating leads and doing all this other stuff. But the camaraderie, the connections you make with people, those kind of things, and the cross-pollination of, even though this person's not on my team, that you make when you're there. I'm not putting anybody on the spot, but Crystal and Cecile and Mark and a couple of those guys were at that, and they were there all week long. And I saw them talking to other people, not just in their group. It makes a big difference. And when you have those tough days, when you feel like you're in the field, you're getting the crap kicked out of you by yourself, that's when that ADP or that Ardmore or that Blitz will show up, because you have that person to reach out to. Sizzle's shaking his head because he's been through it before. So, guys, we call Tim in the top right-hand corner there, we call him Sizzle. So, for a multitude of different reasons. But anyway, great question, Brian, and we appreciate it. All right, and I will get that slide fixed. Have to have a license in all the states that you're selling in, obviously. Thanks, Brian, again. Monday through Friday, 8 to 8:30. You guys have probably gotten this down now, Central Time. I know it sucks for those of you guys that are Eastern Time. The link will be posted the night before and the morning before, so we don't have any issues with you guys trying to get connected. Then we obviously have Holden's meeting on Monday. If you guys are not attending these, you are missing out. The guy is just charged up. He's full of energy. He'll help anyone. Like he's just one of my favorite people here at FES, and he does an amazing job. Again, this will be posted day before and the day of or on the event. Every Monday night at 7 o'clock, he'll answer any question you have about final expense. And then, of course, we have Holden again pouring into us on Wednesday with the Medicare meeting, 7 o'clock Central Time. All you got to do is log in. We'll post it the day before and the day of the event. And this will be posted throughout the weekend so that you guys know what events are coming up in reference to the training. Everything will be posted on Slack. And that brings us to today. So before we get into numbers, I'm going to go ahead and swing back to the other screen here, and then we're going to go over our training portion. So hopefully you guys still see my screen. Everybody see that?
Corey, we can't.
Yeah. Thank you, Renee. Appreciate it. And it paused me. Gotta love technology. Thanks, Renee. Let me share my screen again. Boom. There we go. Beautiful. Got me now?
Yep.
Yes. Thanks, Renee. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So this ain't going to take very long, but this should be pretty powerful for you guys. So again, Colonial Penn. First of all, I want to go ahead and put my disclaimer that I am not picking on Colonial Penn. I'm not saying they're a bad company by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure there's people that have had a lot of luck with Colonial Penn and they've paid out just as they say they are. But one of the things I want to do with this training today is let you know what you're up against or what your clients think they may or may not have. This is going to be pretty eye-opening for some of you guys that have never looked at this policy. Most of the time with most of your competitors that we have, if you go out there and look online, you'll find this kind of stuff. Now, for those of you guys that don't know or might be new to insurance, when they write these policies or any policy, the Colonial Penn, AFLAC, AARP, any insurance policy has to be written with what they call legalese. So when you ask for that client or your potential client's information, their current existing policy, they obviously should be able to get it, right? They should have it somewhere. But when you ask for that, within the first couple of pages of you flipping through that policy book, you should see something that looks like this: certificate of schedule or certificate of benefits. That's pretty much the only thing that these things will say. Now, for time's sake, this lady, her name is Cheryl. I tried to block her stuff out. Some of you guys might be able to see through it, but she gave me the okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys her picture at the end. So here's what you guys need to focus on. There's only a couple spots, and this will jump off of the page at you when you're sitting across from a client. Okay, so at this time, you can see in the big giant red circle, and I made it obnoxious for a reason. You can see her cert number. You can see that she's a female. She's 58. And this was just last year, April of last year, right? That just happens to be one of my best friends and my brother's birthday, which is kind of weird, but April 13th. Now, her premium is $19.90. Now, let me ask you guys, the first thing that should jump off the page to you is how many 58-year-old people have a premium of $19.90? Doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
From a standard life insurance perspective, doesn't make any sense at all. Non-forfeiture interest rate, 4.5%, right? Now, some of the guys that came with us from the other company, if I ask this question, they're going to know the answer to this question. So let me take a step back. Most people, and I don't care if you're talking about a final expense, mortgage protection, whole life, whatever the case is, most people, if you ask them how much coverage they need or how much coverage they think they have on their life insurance policy, can anybody, to make this interactive, tell me what dollar amount they'll tell you? 99.9% of the time, they're going to tell you 100 grand. And they have no idea why. That's just something that's been programmed in them to say. Next time you're in the field, when you're in the field today, ask the question. I guarantee you they'll say 100 grand. So follow me here with the math. I know a lot of you guys are driving. $19.90 a month, right? 1990 times 12, that's $239, right? 238 and some change. Okay. The non-forfeiture is 4.5%, right? So if you take their $19, her $19.90 at 12, that's $238.80. Well, she has an interest rate of 4.50. So let's just add another $11 to that. So let's call that $249.55. Okay. Now, I'm only gonna have to show you two more things on here because you will see this, I guarantee it. Go to where it says, you see the other big giant red circle? Go there, but look where it says A, non-accidental death benefit. The first and second year of that policy, if she dies of a non-accident, they're going to get the premium paid plus the non-forfeiture interest rate. So if you do the math really quickly, in the first 2 years, if she dies in the first year, her family's going to get $249.55. Now, if you're not shaking your head, you're probably in the wrong business. That's what's being sold out there. I'm not saying there's anything bad about this, but people think they have insurance that they don't have. And if she thinks, when I asked her how much coverage she thought she had, this is legalese, which tells you she never even looked at her policy. Now, that was the first 2 years. Let's go to the third year. Third year, certificate year, and after, full amount. If she dies the third year or after, her family gets $3,464. She thought she had a $100,000 policy. She has a $3,464. Now, the first thing, again, that should pop off the page is A, $19.90. And she thought she had 100 grand. There's no way on any planet, anywhere in the universe that a 58-year-old female with no health conditions was $19.90. So here's what I'm saying to you guys before we move on to show you guys a couple of other things. Make sure when you're asking for the policy, you ask and you get it. Sometimes you have to push, and I can tell you guys a story if you want to hear it about how I actually got her to get the policy because she didn't want to. And the pastor of her church was there when we wrote this policy. And by the way, we were able to get her protected. All right. Any questions here before we move on? Very good. All right. So here is the magic to this whole thing. So if you look down at the bottom, Alex Trebek. How many of you guys have seen that? Now they're using a guy, I think his name's Jordan or something like that, that actually works for Colonial Penn. And again, I'm going to put this out there. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. It's an excellent marketing plan, right? You'll see this called the 995 plan. So let me explain to you technically how this works. Okay. This is a whole life policy. So if you're a 50-year-old person, what they do is they sell you units. Okay. And a unit for a 50-year-old person, I know you guys can't see this, but I'll send it to you if you'd like. The unit for a 50-year-old person is $1,786. A unit is $9.95. If anybody has any questions about that, let me know. Again, if you're 50, a unit is $1,786. And for every unit, it is $9.95. So if you wanted 10 grand, you'd basically need 6 units for just over $10,000 worth of coverage. But here's the deal. If you're 51, for 1 unit of coverage, it's $1,732. Still, it costs you $995 per unit. Okay, does anybody have any questions about that? This is their $995 plan. So that's what you see on TV. That's how that works. Any questions? Going once, twice? All right, let me go back here, make sure my screen is still sharing. Hopefully you guys got something out of that. Hold on, I think we got a couple questions here. If I move on, let me make sure. Good, good, good. All right, so let's go back to the numbers and we'll let you guys run here. Okay, making sure I couldn't. Okay, we're good. All right, wanted to give a big congratulations to Colton Kelly, who's our agent of the month. Is building a massive organization here, is a partner here, and just seems to keep adding people to the pile and doing an absolutely fantastic job. So congratulations to Colton for being our agent of the month for July. The beautiful Cancun Contest, for those of you guys that are here and obviously starting to write business, there's only a few rules to the contest. Must be final expense business, must post your sale in Slack the day of the sale. Can't go back, 2 weeks and then post them. And as an example, should say, if you wrote Royal Neighbors $100 a month, should say $1,200 Royal Neighbors FE, so we know it's final expense. The highest number of families protected at the end of the contest will win, and must be a minimum of 40 families protected to win the contest. Obviously, the contest ends September 30th. And again, one winner take all. Obviously, as we continue to get bigger, the prizes will get bigger. But it is a 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive paid resort trip to Cancun. For time's sake, we're just going to cover the top 5. Obviously, the race is heating up. Cody's trying to pull away here, but our top 5, we've got Mr. Robert Golden with 5 families protected. Way to go, Robert. We've got Ryan V with 11 families protected. Good job, Ryan. Taylor B at 13. Michael Salazar at 13 families protected. And Cody's just had a massive last 2 days and is trying to put some distance between him and his other teammates. So congratulations to everybody that's protected a family for the contest. And congratulations to our top 5 so far, as I know this thing's getting ready to get heated up. In reference to our strings, for those of you guys that are the first time on this meeting, what we do with strings is we track the number of weeks that you actually protect a family. Yes, there is something at the end of it, which we'll get into later, but just wanted to give some recognition here. We got Josh, that's 2 weeks. Tyree Smith, 2 weeks. Justin A. Donnie Young just got here 2 weeks in, and he's written families 2 weeks, and actually is our #1 producer so far for the week. Our 3-week producers got Taylor Bowen, we got Brandon P, we got Naomi Gomez. For 4 weeks, we got Alex D at 4 weeks. Our 5-week producers, Ryan Valet, great job, Ryan. 6 weeks, Mike Gruder, 6 weeks in, and has written a policy every week for his first 6 weeks. Cody leading the way for the Cancun Contest and always in the top 3 producers every single week. Cody with 7 weeks in a row. Congratulations, Cody. Charles Showman had another solid week this week and last week. Congratulations to Charles and Crystal there with 9 weeks in a row. We got Mr. ETE himself, 9 weeks in a row of protecting families and building a massive organization. So 14 teammates are on strings. We've been as high as 17, and we know that number will continue to increase. In reference to our numbers from last week, you guys know how I'm about recognition. Want to recognize everybody for protecting families. Last week, we had 20 producers or teammates protect families. Got Mr. Gruder there protecting the family, Jeff Scott, Amy Hillier, Josh Sullivan, number 17, Brian Fitzgerald, 599, Naomi at 947, Michael Salazar, 1537, Tyree at 1619, Donnie Young there at 1787. We got Justin A at 1980, and then into our top 10. We got Mr. Ash there at $2,352 with 2 families protected. Charles Matthews representing the D. Solid week there, Charles, $2,448 with 2 families protected. Alex D, 2622. ETE, the man himself, number 7 at 2709 with 4 families protected. Great job, Ryan, cracking the top 6. $3,730 with 4 families protected. And our top 5, every single week she's in the top, $4,332 with 6 total families protected. Way to go, Renee. See all your dings with the recruiting as well. So you're starting to tie it all together. Congratulations for being number 5 last week. Mr. Cody Wetzel, $4,421, 4 family protected. Great job, Cody. And we got Charles here, number 3, $5,147, 3 families protected. Brandon Presley, $7,551 with a total of 8 families protected, leading the pack for last week. And Taylor B, huge week, $11,760 right here in the St. Louis area with 6 families protected. So they say it can't be done. It can here, right here in St. Louis. Total of 58 families protected, $7,300. And we have already stepped over that mark already for the week this week, which we'll get to. So our top 5 producers last week, Alex D, 47, or this week, excuse me, 4795, 6 families protected. ETE, 5,033 with 5 families protected. Cody Wetzel, already excluded what he's done over last week. This week, great job, Cody. Number 3 so far for the week, 5,085 with 6 families protected. And we got GP leading the way there, $7,558, 4 families protected. I bet you're glad you had that AARP training too, Pitts. Nice job there, number 2. And Donnie Young coming out of the gates, just got here and is crushing it. Obviously on a 2-week string here, and $11,569 with 5 families protected so far for the week. So guys, before we conclude, please make sure that if you are interested in attending the Blitz in Wisconsin, not Minnesota, just send me a Slack message. I'm happy, just put Blitz in there. I'll get the information to you. If you are interested in getting trained in AHIP and getting certified to do Medicare, I highly recommend it. If you are a health license, send me, just put Medicare in a Slack. We'll get you hooked up with Holden and go from there. We're asking you guys, don't blast Holden. Everywhere. If you send it to me, I'll make the connection, let you guys about your weekend. Going once, twice. Anybody, any agents have anything to add? Fantastic. We appreciate you guys. Be safe out there. Good luck this weekend, and bye for now.